Great Saturday morning, December 19th, 2020. To God be the glory for yet another opportunity to do His will. We are in the 19th chapter of Genesis, and I want to flip back to the 18th chapter because I have a question. Are you in the process of planning a family? I had this conversation with a young person recently, and we were just talking frankly about premarital sex and the fallout sometimes of having that type of sex and becoming pregnant and not being ready and not fulfilling all of, not even all, some of life's plans, and how there are great implications for the children, because of course they did not ask to come into the situation, but now they're in some type of structure or a lack thereof, and there's chaos and confusion that they have to come up in and around. I had another conversation with another young person, and they were saying that they were listening to someone on social media, and this person was suggesting that these babies, as they call it, or these teens who are causing a lot of trouble, they need to be extinguished. And it made my stomach turn because I'm like, in essence, it's like the death penalty. They're like to just get rid of those young people who are causing mayhem, but they're in situations that they did not ask to be in. If anything, it's the adults who have not protected them and have not have guided them and shielded them from craziness out there. If anything, they have replicated and duplicated and shown them the crazy ways, and all they're doing is just living out what they see. In Genesis 18:19, it pretty much tells what is the purpose of parenting and having children. God said to Abraham, He says, "For I know him, that he will command his children and his household after him. So he will guide them and direct them, and they shall keep the way of the Lord." This is the reason why we have incremental worship and exposure. That's why we used to take them to Sunday school and expose them to the ways of the Lord so that they could keep the ways, and then their children, and then so on and so on. Somewhere along the way, we have dropped the ball, dropped the baton. And then it says, they shall keep the way of the Lord to do justice and judgment, to do what is right in the sight of the Lord. In Genesis 19, it talked about when the men of the city came to visit the angels before they destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah. And we know what Lot said when the men were at the door and they were like, "Yeah, come, we want to do some evil." And Lot was like, no, don't do this evil with my guests. You could do it with my daughters. And the question is, who is protecting our daughters and sons, our children? If we're just like saying, no, you could do this evil to them, you could live out, and And it says in Genesis 19:8, "Do ye to them as is good in your eyes, for they have not known man." So what are we to do? We, the adults, we the ones who have been exposed to the ways of God, we're to shield those daughters and sons from the craziness and escape. Because when they look back and see the wickedness, then they could be like Lot's wife, turn into a pillar of salt, or just turn into stagnancy, and they're not able to move ahead. With this in mind, we would have gone to so many chapters in Psalms 19, 49, 79, 109, and 139. And we know that Psalms 139 talks about how every day of someone's life has been written in the book of life. God knows them because He has made them. That child has made them. Even that child was made by God, even though they might not be in an ideal situation. But the Lord says that in secret, He has curiously made the parts of that child in the earth, right, from dust. And He knows that marvelous. That child knows. And hopefully we can remind them that marvelous is the works that the Lord has done, no matter what the situation is done. For thy soul, your soul knoweth right well. So we remind them that they are marvelously and fearfully and wonderfully made in the image of God. Let's remind them. Let's protect the children. Let's remind them that even though they were born of non-ideal circumstances, that God still has a plan for each one of them. Oh yes, he does. And he still can bring about his will as long as we protect these daughters and sons and be the ones who will intercede for this generation. Have a wonderful day, blessing the Lord and reminding people of God's purpose.